Hey everybody, what's up? This is Kevin. Thanks for joining me at Midwest Woodcraft. Now, I don't claim to know a lot, but I know I like knives. I know you like knives, you like knives, you like knives, you way back there, you really like knives. Everybody likes knives. So today, we're going to talk knives. So stay with me, I'll stop yakking. We'll see if we can get a little bit of dirt on this brand new Wright GNS. Stay tuned. Guys that are familiar with Midwest Woodcraft know that recently I became a brand ambassador for Wright. So I have a really tough new job. I have to play with all these dang new knives and see how they work. So today that's what we're going to do. The Wright GNS is made from 01 tool steel. It is full tang, meaning the steel goes through the length of the knife, through the handle. Basically one solid piece of steel with micarta scales mounted over the top of it. So you're going to be real durable. You're not going to have to worry about breaking this. It has an overall length of 9.5 inches. And the cutting surface is 4 1/4 inches. And that comes with a Scandinavian grind. And that Scandi is going to have a secondary micro bevel on it, which occurs during their hard broughing process. And they claim that this actually prolongs the life and adds durability to the edge. And I can speak to the edge retention on these knives. I've been carrying the Gary Wines Bushcraft Hunter. Edge retention's awesome on that. You strop it up a little bit and she'll go a long time before you have to touch her again. All I've had to do so far is just take the strop to it pretty lightly and it stays razor sharp. So these knives come razor sharp. So whenever you get it, be careful. They ain't messing around when they send them to you. It has a 90-degree spine, as most good bushcraft knives do. I don't know if you can see that there, but they take extra time to make these spines extra sharp, and they just throw awesome sparks off a ferro rod. You can process your tinder, you can debark, you can do a lot of things with that tool, with that option on this tool. Makes it really handy. It has a nice contoured handle. This one here is micarta, olive drab micarta. You can also get it in desert ironwood, I do believe. But I really like the grip of this here. Feels really good in the hands, really contoured, like I said. Feels awesome in the hand. And you can tell it's made good. I mean, when you look at it, that baby's mounted on there really good. You got the 3 fisheye pins here. You have the large lanyard hole. I mean, this thing's ready to rock and roll. I'm not a big lanyard guy, but if you do need a lanyard on there, that's going to be really nice for it. It also comes with a couple different sheath options. I believe you can get a Kydex sheath option for this blade. You can also get the normal leather dangler sheath. You can use this with or without the dangler. You don't necessarily have to use this part of it. You can put this right on your belt, or you can have the dangler option. It also has the ferro rod loop. Really nice sheath. Stick that in there real quick. I think this is the first time the knife's actually even been in the sheath, but you can see there, looks really awesome, really well made. All the stitching's awesome. Really nice set here. So, we talked about how pretty it looks, how long it is, what kind of grind it has, what kind of steel it is, all that good stuff. How does it work? Well, I can tell by this handle, I don't think that hot spots are going to be a big issue. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to have to talk to LT about getting one of these myself, because I tell you what, messing around with this a little bit, I really love it. So I'm going to grab up a few sticks and we'll see about getting us a figure 4 deadfall carved up here, see how she works in some wood. Stick with me. Okay, so before we get started building our trigger here, we're just going to take a foregrip in this, try to remove some material. You can see you can make them fine shavings. Slow down and take your time. Helps when your knife's really sharp. You can see I'm just holding the knife stationary, pulling the stick back towards me. If we dig into it a little deeper, we can create a thicker curl. I like to do that when I'm making my feather sticks, because if you make them all too fine, they burn up real quick. If you leave some thicker pieces in here like this, it gives you some more kindling type material, a little bit more fuel to work with. Kind of prolong the life of your feather stick. Works really good for that. As you can see. Trying to make a more fine one there. And you can see that. I'm not going to spend a ton of time, but it made a pretty good feather stick. You flip it around, use the spine, you're going to be able to make them real fine fuzz sticks. It creates a lot of surface area. That's how you create your own tinder. If you don't have good tinder source or you're in wet conditions, you split some wood down, create your own tinder. And this LT Wright knife, most LT Wright knives I've used so far, this is one thing that they absolutely excel at. You can see in a short amount of time, I've got some fuzz sticks here. Let's see if we can balance this up here. Get our ferro rod in here somehow. You see those awesome sparks. There you have that. GNS did an awesome job creating that tinder, throwing them sparks. You're going to have a bushcraft knife. That's a very, very good quality. So, moving on. Okay, so now we're going to do what we came out here to do to begin with. First of all, I'm going to take that spine, just so we can see better what we're doing. I'm going to debark this stick. This is cherry as well. Kind of nice fallen cherry, had some nice straight pieces on it. If you was getting ready to, if you was at camp and you was staying out for a little while, this is all stuff you want to keep. You're making these shavings. You want to keep these somewhere if you had to get another fire going. Probably be a good idea. So we're going to carve a figure 4. This is going to be our bait stick. This will be our post stick, and this will be our angle stick, or our anvil stick, lever stick, whatever you want to call it. So you can see this will be our lever, this will be our post, and this will be the bait stick that locks everything in together. We'll probably actually do it like this. So, we'll get to it. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a chisel point on the top of this post stick. And we're not going to get into discussions on primitive trapping or anything. We're simply just making a trigger here. Use this chest lever. Digging in there pretty good into this wood, and this isn't green, this is dead wood. Just making pretty quick work of it. Slices right through it. Do some thumb pushes here to just kind of take some of this fine material off here, straighten everything up a little bit, and try to use several different grips here. Okay, so we have this ramped off. We got it flat here. Just flatten it off a little bit on the back side. Always take small amounts of material off at a time, because you can always take more off but you can't put it back once it's cut off there. You want a nice even surface here where them two are going to marry up. And I'm actually going to probably shorten this a little bit. So we'll just beaver chew into it. We'll use our thumb pushes here. Cut into one end all the way around. We'll flip our stick around. Cut into it the other way. You can see that's why they call it beaver chewing. It looks like a tree that a beaver's been chewing on. Once you get the integrity broke down, you can snap that stick pretty easy. I like this chest lever grip for things like this because you can keep everything pretty steady and under control. Use some power to remove material if needed. When we shorten that post up a little bit, that's going to be a lot more realistic for what we're going to be using. Okay, so then this, like we said, is going to be our angled stick. And what I'm going to do is we're going to flatten the top end of it. And this is what your deadfall is going to sit on top of. So we're flattening that off so when our deadfall sits on there. Now I'm going to create a 7-notch here. And that's going to allow us to see how it does notches. We'll cut straight in there. You can also use a baton here. Baton into this, make this a little easier. I'm just going to go a little at a time. Clean everything all up. And then we have our 7-notch. And I gotta say, the GNS made that pretty dang easy. So then, we're gonna make some adjustments here. We're gonna need to cut this off the length, our lever stick here, the length, which will probably be about right here. We'll do some more beaver chewing action here. Get that off. Okay, so we have our 7-notch here, flat here, and then we're going to basically chisel the end of this off just like we did our post stick. Now we have our lever stick and our post stick done, and we're just going to add our bait stick. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut another one of them 7 notches in the end of this bait stick. Actually, we'll cut 2 7 notches. We'll cut one here and we'll cut one here on one side or the other. Then we'll just about be done. Now just one last little adjustment. I just got to flatten the front of this post stick so our 7 notch and the bait stick will grab a hold of it. I'm just going to flatten a section of the front off here. And then we'll flatten part of the side, take that roundness off of it. There you can see, it all fits together. Now we'll take her down by the creek, see if we can find us a flat stone, set her up. As you guys can see, just in the short amount of time we was using her today, the LT Wright GNS is good to go in my opinion. It did a really good job with all the tasks we asked it to perform today. It struck the ferro rod exceptionally well. You've seen the gobs of sparks we got off that. It made real nice feather sticks. We was able to make the fuzz sticks with the spine, debark the sticks with the spine. Spine performed beautifully. The edge performed beautifully. We didn't baton with it, but it's plenty thick enough. I know we could do that. Now it is only 4 1/4 inch, so you're going to have to limit the size of material you're going to baton through. But no doubt that it's going to do that. I do believe I failed to mention the blade thickness in the description, so that wasn't in my notes. When I get home, I'll have to research that, and I'll get that information in here in text for you, so you have that. But I'll tell you what, just first impression of this, awesome. I just love it. I know it made making this figure 4 deadfall trigger a snap. Yeah, I just said that. I really appreciate you guys tuning in to Midwest Woodcraft's review of the LT Wright GNS. First impression, this thing's an awesome little blade. This one was actually donated to us for a future giveaway. I'm going to have to be getting a hold of LT and begging him to get one of my own, because this thing, I really love working with it. This handle is very comfortable. I'm not sure who designed that handle, but they did an awesome job on that. So kudos to you if you're watching, for sure. Just all around, I mean, it handles well, very agile, very, very sharp, carves well. Seems to do an awesome job. Of course, it's got that sharp spine, so it strikes the ferro rod really, really well. The sheath's awesome. So A+ as far as I'm concerned on this. I would like to play with it on a more long-term basis just to see how I like it in the long term, but I don't think that would really be too much of an issue. Just a beautiful blade. So reluctantly, I will be passing this off to someone else here pretty soon. All the products I've used from LT so far have been top-notch, so if you're in the market for a new blade, get over there and check them out. They got a lot of options. They got bigger blades, they got smaller blades, more tactical type stuff, everything in between. So get over there and check LT Wright Handcrafted Knives out. Very, very quality, very good name in the industry. Highly recommend them. This is Kevin. Hope you like what you see here. If so, click like, hit subscribe, leave us a comment down below. We always really love hearing what you have to say. I hope to see you guys out in the woods real soon.